as of late. So very interesting, same what Greg Dubose has. You see the tail of the tape here, 6'2" versus 6 foot. So it's not like there's a massive height advantage, but you got two rangy young guys having their first fight. So it's going to be a fun one.
It certainly is. Good-looking graphics there from the truck. We love to see it. It is Russell versus Dubose here in our first bout of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first battle is brought to you by our friends right here at the legendary Cotton Eye Joe. This amateur Thai kickboxing match is set for 3 2-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, he's fighting out of the blue corner. He steps into the cage tonight at a height of 6 feet. 2 inches tall, having weighed in at 168.2 pounds. He trains with Fit BJJ and he fights out of Alcoa, Tennessee. And tonight in the Aries Fight Series cage, he makes his amateur debut. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Finesse Kid, Wyatt and now his opponent across the cage and fighting out of the red corner. He steps into the cage tonight at a height of 6 feet even, having weighed in at 167.2 pounds. He trains with Team Chaos and he fights out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And tonight in the Aries Fight Series cage, he also makes his amateur debut. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Greg Dubose. Your referee for this fight will be Josh Amato.
Josh Amato getting the call here on our first fight of the night. Familiar face, Josh Mackey there closing the cage door. Love to see Josh. Can't wait to see him in action again soon. But right now it is Dubose and Russell getting things started here at Aries Fight Series 30.
No, ooh, nice knees right up the middle, right off the get-go from Wyatt Russell. And they're both rangy guys, but they want to exchange in the pocket, and looks like what Russell really wants to just get into this tie clinch, and that's where he's delivering some beautiful knees up the middle.
Yeah, at 6'2", those knees are a real weapon.
And there's lots of space in this Aries cage to work with, but both guys prefer to be fighting in tight quarters so far. Nice fight kick by Wyatt. Oh, and a beautiful head kick up top.
That one resonating throughout the building here.
Wyatt Russell just throws with bad intentions. Everything he's throwing is just trying to really get Greg right off his game.
Yeah, Dubose is going to need to kind of weather the storm and insert himself in the fight here as time moves on.
And that's exactly it. Both guys are making their debuts. So, I mean, there's a lot of anxiety. There's jitters. There just needs to be a bit of a settle down. They're off a really quick pace to start off. Expect that to maybe slow down, but Wyatt's looking to put some damage. Beautiful right hand there. Gets Greg Dubose's attention briefly.
Nice front kick there from Russell.
There you go. Dubose now starting to move forward. Lands a beautiful two-piece combination there. And you really see that Wyatt wants to play that long-range game. I mean, those front kicks up the middle and the knees so far have been his best weapons, but Dubose just trying to inch a little bit closer, move his feet a little bit closer, and then he's got to start unloading a little bit because the offense coming back at him so far has been kind of stifling his game.
Got to believe energy conservation, energy management is going to be so important for both of these young guys as they're kind of navigating, the intensity of competition in front of a crowd for the first time.
Yeah, and I mean, this is their very first round. We just heard the 10-second clapper, so they've got that cage time now. They're more experienced men as a result, but some slight adjustments are going to be had to be made by Greg Dubose as you really see Wyatt Russell kind of hit his comfort zone a lot earlier and therefore got off the better offense.
And a storyline that maybe hasn't been touched on at this point is that these two gyms face off in two Thai kickboxing bouts on the undercard. So fans at home enjoying the action on the Spectation Sports Facebook prelim live stream. In just another couple fights, you're going to see two fighters from these same gyms face off. So I mean, obviously these are two different contests entirely, but it is imperative for each of these gyms to kind of get some momentum going. And in the case of Dubose, you see he's listening to his coach, Josh Kate. Josh Kate, man, it seems like as of late, this current crop of Team Chaos fighters, they've been coming out of there with W's. And he's a master at managing the mental aspect of combat sports in addition to the physical aspect.
Yeah, I think you can feel it in the room. It's a confidence thing. When your training partners are having success doing all the same things that you're doing, you know, that makes you a confident fighter. When you come into the cage and you know you've had tough rounds in the gym versus top guys in the area, you know, it just gives you a level of comfort. But as you mentioned, they're both top camps, and you know both guys are very prepared.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be round 2, so you've gotten a chance to acclimate a little bit. Interesting to see what adjustments each fighter brings to round number 2.
Yeah, Dubose got to be a little more aggressive, and you see right off the get-go, he's looking to just do that. Nice right hand, though, by Wyatt. Oh, another one. So far, he's showing really good accuracy for a debuting fighter, but a nice overhand right finally does break through and get his attention.
Good pressure from Dubose, but man, he's absorbing some damage with the knees. Wearing it pretty well, though. Tough young man there in the case of Dubose.
He's a tough young man. I mean, he's kind of throwing his defense out the window to just make this a scrap, and he's showing the heart of a fighter, but the second he takes his foot off the gas and stops throwing, that's when Wyatt is able to really counter him and land some of these good shots. But, you know, the pace of this is going to be taxing, and so far, Dubose is the one moving forward and causing Wyatt Russell to fight off his back foot. So we'll see if he can tighten the gap here, because this is a much closer round than the first.
Yeah, Russell's slowing down just a bit.
I would say so, but again, debuting guys, I mean, it's to be expected. And Dubose being at Chaos, like, you know he's in good shape. I mean, you know all these guys came trained, prepared today, but this is a guy that maybe had a slow start in the first round, and now he's finally getting acclimatized. He's finally getting the feel for it, and he's really starting to come into his own a little bit better the second round.
Russell trying to keep Dubose at bay with the jab. Dubose just crashing in, man. He's here to make a statement here in round number 2.
Yeah, and think about the adjustments. The first round's all front kicks, right? So don't let him throw those front kicks anymore, and how do you do that? You got to get in his face. They're both starting to wear it a little bit, but it's going to come down to who wants it more in this third round, and that's what makes a fighter.
I really do like the body attacks there from Dubose. Very deliberate straight rights to the body of Russell. Looks like Amato giving a little bit of admonishment there to Russell. I think as it pertains to the clinch, something about the grabbing.
Oh, you see, hands on his knees is always a bad sign. Are they going to call it? Just a little bit of a confusion there. Yeah, a bit of a confusion. They took a break, not sure why, and then yeah, Wyatt Russell, I mean, I wouldn't say he's quitting on himself, but he's mentally checked out.
Yeah, Dubose starting to cook here at the end of round 2. Oh, and he shouts into the face of Wyatt Russell. It looks like Dubose has flipped a switch here in round number 2. As far as Wyatt Russell goes, he's got his hands over the cage, taking big breaths.
And Team Chaos just pointed over at Wyatt Russell and told her, man, you broke him, right? And if that's the visual right now, everything's to fight for in this third round. Very close fight, very competitive fight, but it's all up for grabs in this third. And who looks like the fresher man? They're both tired, sure, but you see one fighter starting to beam with confidence, whereas Russell, you know, he's got to now make his own adjustments and overcome adversity. How do I keep this kid off me? How do I put him on his back foot? That's what his coaches are trying to explain to him, but with only a few minutes left in this fight, you know, you really got to kick things into gear and not wait too long.
The Fit BJJ team definitely has their fighters here. Russell is alert. He's definitely recuperating a little bit. On the other side of the cage, Dubose throwing his hands up. He's pumping up the crowd. Really couldn't be more different from round 1 to round 2. But with that being said, it's very likely tied 1-1 going into round 3. Everything on the table for both of these young fighters.
Yeah, and Wyatt Russell, I mean, again, he's certainly still in the fight, but Greg Dubose is just breaking him mentally. It's art of war, and him throwing his hands up and him getting the crowd going and just going right back on the attack. He's here to do a job, and so far he's doing an excellent job of that.
Yeah, they're right in front of us.
Oh, beautiful right hand. This is the time to unload the clip and give it everything you got.
Those knees are starting to find a home there from Wyatt Russell, but Dubose is unaffected.
Dubose is mostly using a boxing style. I mean, it's this lefts and rights, left and rights, left and rights, whereas you see a more traditional style from Wyatt Russell, sorry. But in a dogfight like this of who wants it more, it doesn't really matter. It's just who's got their foot on the gas, who's in better shape, who's got that confidence, who's got that momentum. And you see Greg Dubose is just absolutely beaming right now.
He's a robot right now. He's seriously just a machine. I would love to see him dig to the body. I really think digging to the body would serve him well, but he's having success right now headhunting. Both of these guys are feeling the effects of.
Yeah, he did excellent body work in the first round for sure, or in the second round for sure. But
yeah, standing 8 count.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad call. Again, they're juniors. They're not juniors, but they're making their first amateur fight. You're trying to protect them.
And he waves it off.
There you go.
It is going to be a 3rd round stoppage. I don't know that it's dawned on Greg Dubose yet that he's the winner. It is now apparent that he has secured the victory here.
Yeah, Greg Dubose looks at the referee and says, what happened? Did I win? I won? And now you just see him absolutely elated. And listen, he showed up with his lunchbox pack today.
Yeah.
Did everything necessary, grueling affair, but at the end of the day, that doesn't look like a tired man. It looks like a happy man, a well-deserved victory for him.
Yeah, great pressure, great pace. And it was really that weaponized pace that saw him realize a finished win here in round number 3. It looks like Wyatt Russell unable to continue after Josh Amato administered the standing 8 count. Great experience for both young fighters, though. I really think that this is going to be valuable to both of them as they move forward in their young fighting careers. We go now to Lance Green here to make this one official. As we go to Lance now.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 15 seconds into round number 3. Your referee, Josh Amato, has brought this bout to a stop. Your winner, by way of TKO, Greg Dubose!
Big time win for